All right. This is your host for the most of the time here in Dubai, and I'm following up with the Oort team and also a good friend of mine, Michael A. Robinson. Man, first of all, welcome to Society X show.
Delighted to be here, Marcos. I love what you all are doing and look forward to this podcast. Also, hanging out with you guys while we're in Dubai, right?
Yeah. Just to give some context to some of our folks, I met Michael maybe almost 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and yeah, I know you are an early big investor. You're also quite a talented researcher. You're also a VC with AI. But the funny thing is, I didn't know about Oort or Compute Coin, I guess,
Yes.
some time back. I think that was quite a surprise. And especially talking to Dr. Lee, what he's working on, he has his own patent consensus. I was just blown away. So for me, I feel like a new person actually talking to you about AI, decentralized storage, and privacy, which is one of my favorite stuff. But I'm one of those small minorities. So I know you, my audience would like to know who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
Yeah, thanks for that intro. It's funny that we did connect initially 2 years ago in Dubai, and here we are again reconnecting
Yeah.
because
Yes, sir.
crypto market, and we stayed the course, and we love crypto. So yeah, for me, I have been a macro trends researcher. I like identifying opportunities before they go mainstream, big being one of them. I've done very well with like my stock pick, right? Got into Apple very early, 45 Sirius satellite, Exxon, things like that. But then that was like, I don't want to call it magnum opus, but because I still have a lot of life left, right? God willing. But it was definitely the opportunity that changed my path, right? It brought me into the technology space. So I just remember researching Bitcoin in 2015 and looking at the monetary policy coming out from the Fed. And Bitcoin was created as an end to central banking, which was the right time for me to begin my research. So I was able to start securing Bitcoin in early 2016 after that year of research at FD, right? That was crazy to me because I saw coming down the pike, and I became an evangelist, that Bitcoin is definitely heading to 20,000. So I was telling everyone about that. Yeah, and I'm telling people in 2016, Bitcoin is headed to 20,000, and they thought I was crazy. But you know what? 2017 comes and it hits K, and my friends then, they thought I was a genius at that. Now we're going to 100, right? As if 20K wasn't, here we are. Now I'm saying we're going to 100K. But long story short, my appetite and love for Bitcoin brought me into the V side, technology in general, where with a couple of my like amazing partners, Francis, Marion, Tom, Kevin Valentine, we are also Obviously, I'm a partner at Obviously, helped co-found Obviously, and it's a Web3V. So it's dedicated to Web3. I'm a big believer in the future being decentralized, and also a lot of our lives are going to be ported on chain. I like to call this, especially post-COVID, the technologification of society. So we're seeing the use of technology integrated into our lives and lifestyle. Like in the past, in 2016, 2017, when I used to teach people crypto, I would do so on Zoom. When I would share Zoom with them, they're like, what the hell is that? Now here we are post-COVID, everybody's using Zoom.
Yep.
Yeah, very interesting. But continuing, Oort is one of our portfolio companies at Obvious. Dr. Lee and Dr. Yang, they approached me to join the Oort Foundation as the chairman. And I was really excited about what they're doing. Plus, my research was showing me moving forward, especially post that there is going to be censorship. We are centralized as far as technology is concerned. There's going to be a solution created to solve all of this. And that comes in, that's where decentralized storage comes in. Peer-to-peer networks are going to make sense. It's no longer top down, but from me to you, to your group of friends, my group of friends, everyone around the world now participating in this amazing ecosystem. So Oort made sense to me. The cloud did. And now very excitingly, Dr. Lee has always been he's a mathematician. Took him 10 years to solve a math problem to get his D. Genius of a man. He was always promoting it with blockchain and crypto because it made absolute sense. And finally, we had our 22 2022 crash in the crypto market. That's when AI, right? So it was perfect timing for a bit of serendipity. Here we are, we're in AI deep in decentralized storage cloud. It's fantastic. But yeah, that's a of a long-winded approach of how I got into the space and how I connected with the Oort team and why I joined.
Nice. Oh, cool. Okay. So yeah, I know that's pretty cool. No, thanks for giving like an intro to the Oort Foundation. And I guess you guys are particularly focused on decentralized AI, decentralized storage, and computation. I know that's a lot of, not many people are familiar with that, which we'll get back to it. But I got friends who are not deep into crypto and blockchain and stuff, and they always question. They don't really think about decentralization, right? This philosophy or this ideal that we hold. I guess the question that some of my friends will ask is, why should people care about decentralization, particularly in AI, storage, and computation? Why should care about it?
That's a very good question, right? I think a very good example is if you follow, that started out as a not-for-profit, a non-profit.
That's true. That is true. Yeah.
It was really about open AI. It's called open AI, right? And you'll see him lambasted on his Twitter. Now that's become a for-profit. It's still called AI, but it's really, as he would say, closed. We're in a very strange era in humanity where you take a look, especially I'm based in the States. You look at media, currently 5 corporations own the media.
Okay. The last time I remember it was 6, but I think, hey, things are starting to get centralized.
It's getting centralized, right? Yeah. So maybe it is 6. Last I checked, I thought it was 5. So let's say 5 or 6, right? Still a pretty, right? Own media. You're no longer receiving news. Instead, you're getting corporate updates, corporate hive mind information. And I believe personally, when I do my macro trends research, I look at both sides of the narrative, but I typically find that my independent investigative research or journalists provide me more insight than the corporate news, right? So the corporate news would be centralized. Journalists would be your peer-to-peer, right? That could be someone running around with a camera that shows or showcases what took place as an event happens. I'm getting that live. I'm getting it censored, tampered with, like media. So we're seeing that now taking place with AI, where AI is supposed to be the assistant that we work with. But if you continue to work close with this AI and it's giving you doctored, biased, black box information, then you're not truly informed. You're not really being creative. You're not really, and I see that as a major problem, or I should say challenge, coming down the pike. So what we're focused on now is getting the people back into AI and building the tools to allow them to do the open source infrastructure to assist them in doing so. So we'll have our community participate in quests to help train our AI algorithm. And essentially what that does is it's a decentralized, it's no longer the black box AI that is very centralized compared to ours, which would be decentralized. So you look at the options giving you the information top down on a centralized narrative. Now we have a community coming together to fact check each other, to upvote, to participate in quests, and would be able to have a more quality formed society. That's what we're trying to get to. What I find very amazing is the closer you are to good information, which is factual information, factual data, the better your life, your experience can be. The further you're away from quality data, info, the worse your life, quality of life will be. So I live.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah. That's what as a researcher, I recognized. And I was like, damn, this is so simple, but it's still a bit, complexities are there because this is something that's hard for most to identify because we just trust that the central entities are giving us quality data, quality information for us to live off of.
Oh, got you. All right. I just lost you a little bit.
Yeah.
No, I was reflecting because when you shared about when you connected quality data with quality of life, that's something actually I want to share with some of my people here because most of the folks are more like commercial, they're business minded. Maybe I think I would also use your quote or your point of saying, hey, you know what, you need these in terms of to protect your, have security, privacy, and to have like quality data to make really good business decisions. For example, when you think of centralized media, let's use use what's the guy named Jim Cramer? That dude is like the central bastion of bad financial decisions. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure there's some quality research out there talking about the reverse Cramer index, right? So do you think we can make a case that decentralization is good for businesses, right?
Yeah, what I've been reviewing in general is like on the tech side, your community really dictates the performance and scalability of the adoption of your technology, right? So when we take a look at WhatsApp, Gram, Facebook, those were essentially built by the community. The community is what helped with right? So if businesses are now able to create an experience, and of course it's going to differ the experience based on the business model that you have, where the community participates, right? They are also the end users, right? And that's what's beautiful about Web3, because now the sovereignty goes back to the end user, right? Decide if they want to participate in your business model. If they don't, but they can also be rewarded as well with whether it's point that can convert to, maybe it's a token, maybe it's an experience that the business wants to hand over to the end user to continue to participate, an incentive mechanism, right? For the end to continue to participate in their business model. It makes absolute sense, because at the end of the day, you're only as big as the market that wants to participate. The market is the ender. Typically, depending on if it's retail or if you're doing B2B, that's a different scenario. However, you can also centralize the B2B, so these businesses can also participate in that incentive mechanism, right? In real time, something that would optimize a lot of decision making and the experience, the products that are rolled out. But it's very early stage, this technology that we're pioneering, which is incredible to me. Every day I wake up, I'm like just amazed that we're participating in this new technology and future of humanity, right? The digitization, the tokenization.
That's a beautiful feeling, man, to wake up every morning like that. That's beautiful. That's a blessing right there, man.
Really a blessing. It does keep you up at night in a good way, right? Because I'm always in thought, like, how can I make this better? How can I add more value? This is our legacy, right? After passing, which is inevitable, then I want to hand something over to the next generation that is going to be a value add for them. And this is where this discussion begins, right? How does centralization help with businesses and just in general, right? So yeah, man, I do think it's going to play a huge role moving forward, and businesses are starting to identify that.
Yeah, but do you think now or maybe later businesses do see the potential risks of centralized systems, whether it is storage like AWS or whether it is OpenAI or, I don't know, Aladdin by BlackRock or something? So
yeah, I get it. Sometimes you want to keep the IP in-house. You don't want this to be open source, right? However, at the end of the day, a business is supposed to help with the optimization of the quality of life or the experience of the end user. Now, if you have an army of incentivized people that can participate in helping to scale out your business, it's a no-brainer, right? Like right now, if I have a poor experience with like my X network, which is like my cable, I got to talk to an AI. I don't have any real person for the first 30 minutes of my dial-in to speak to. Now imagine if you had a community that was incentivized to participate in handling those questions. Could be a large game changer for that business model, right? Something we could flesh out, right? And that's why I love being in the startup industry, because we identify these log gems, these challenges, and we add tech to it to facilitate block specifically and an incentive mechanism. And there you have it, a solution at the ground level. So I believe businesses are going to have to upgrade, integrate moving forward some kind of station into their model, especially being that with the legacy experience that we have. Once again, I will call that before COVID. Yeah, before COVID, people were a bit fed up. They saw where there was a bit of inequalities and challenges in the Web 2, just legacy business model. Post-COVID, we got to see even more, like the first couple of years. And that's when the solutions just really started being rolled out. So yeah, moving forward, life might be on-chain. And there's a potential, right? This video that we're doing right now could be stored on-chain in a decentralized cloud, right?
Agreed.
Yeah, I think that is where we're headed because of blockchain and what it's capable of facilitating, plus provenance, right? That's going to be helpful. So businesses are definitely going to need that integration moving forward, a decentralization. Actually, let me put it to you like this. I always think about this, right? It's internet versus when I was, and I'm telling on my age, when I was here in the States, I missed the internet. 93 was when I came to the States from Jamaica. And I remember there was much talk as I got out of high school about internet and intranet. Intranet would be used internally by businesses, and internet was typically used by, it was an open market. Public.
Yeah.
Exactly. But now everyone's using the internet. Nobody's really using intranet. I think it would be this experience moving forward, an open source blockchain versus a permission being intranet and being the open source. Yeah, I think that's where we're going to be headed. I know there's a case at the institutional level, especially with documents and for banks for the permission, but that's what's all. And we're seeing more adoption coin by the BlackRocks and Franklin Templeton with the endorsement of a Bitcoin spot ETF. So what does that mean? There's tons that implies. And once again, it's bringing us closer into a digitized future on-chain reality and also a permissionless society.
That's cool. No, definitely some great valid points. And thank you for sharing a little bit of history too. Ali, there's a saying, right? If history doesn't repeat, history is rhyming. Like it's rhyming with internet, it's rhyming what's going to happen with the blockchain. So we covered the business side, right? Let's talk about the customers. Let's talk about the regular Joes and Janes out there. How would the everyday person, the everyday regular Joe and Jane out there benefit from the products from the Oort Foundation, whether it's Oort Storage, and I guess your upcoming Oort Compute?
Yeah, you're definitely right. So Oort Storage, very cool. We have a 3-tiered architecture, right? We have our super nodes, which are the large data centers. Then we also have our local nodes, which are like edge devices equivalent to an Apple TV. End users are incentivized to store up to 1 terabyte of data, while also mining Oort, our coin, our native currency. And then also we have our backup nodes, which are the integration of first movers in the decentralized storage cloud industry. So we bring all that under one roof and we shard the data, right? Which means just breaking it up in different pieces across the network. So only 1/3 of the network needs to be up for end users to still be able to pull the full amount of that data. So essentially that's available for users to utilize, especially our community members, right? And it's a Web 2 experience on the UI UX. A bit of hidden tech, you don't know that you're using block essentially, right? That helps with the resilience of our network as well, the architecture that I just shared. But then on the Oort AI, we have a factually accurate AI because right now, if you utilize any of these AI systems, you typically find that they run off on tangent and you have to second guess the data that you're receiving. Our AI is actually accurate. We have partnerships specifically for the storage with Dell and their loyalty program, which is very incredible for us. And then we also have, Lenovo as our partner for the Oort AI, which is fantastic. Now, those are the use cases that we actually brought to market with partnerships with these large enterprise companies that are still available and extremely affordable for the public. Now is our Oort Compute. Version 1 is about to be rolled out, and essentially our community members will be able to connect to our network from their edge devices, meaning your tablet, PC, smartphone, and we would essentially give quests. There are rewards that you receive, and you would help us train and be rolling out a opportunity where the community members can take and receive the Oort storage and also the AI as their assistant as well. But I think what's really incredible cool and exciting is the Oort compute, because I really want to see how many people across the world we can garner together to help us simplify a decentralized participating in that ecosystem. I think that right there is going to be a huge boon for Oort. I think that's going to be huge for us.
That's interesting, because I'm glad I had a conversation with Dr. Lee when he mentioned about a lot of the data centers, for example, they're under.
Yes.
So, and then on top of that too, like there is also this wide gap of opportunities for regular people like myself and others out there. Hey, we have our laptops or whatever, unused spaces, storage or unused computational power, maybe small, but when you add millions of people together, I think that's a whole nother level. So I think to me that's eye-opening, actually.
That's a game changer, Marcos, right? All these participants with their idle compute now connected to helping us with these quests. I think that helps in real time with the AI just training, which makes it decentralized. But then also, I think that this would be cool for institutions to partner with these community members through Oort, so they can also do quests, and they can also pay out the community members to participate quests to train our AI or get the data that they want.
Yeah.
This is immeasurable as far as the concept is concerned. I'm excited about the rollout of this. We're doing the first phase is going to be mobile, and I'm a big fan of mobile first. The reason being is I'm Jamaican. I frequent Jamaica often. People have phones, 1 or 2 cell phones. Imagine across the world, the emerging market. Now they can also participate in this ecosystem, and it doesn't look as esoteric as it did before, right? Like most people, they hear about crypto, they hear about Web3. They're like, how do I participate? For you and me, we've been in it for some time, so it's very easy, right? But the others sound so complex. But now they'll learn all they need to do is download the L wallet, connect to the client, and you're
all right.
You can get paid.
Yeah, and just talk a little bit about the L wallet.
Yeah. Oh, yes, that's a good point, right? The L wallet is our native self-custody wallet. So
Kyle.
like a MetaMask, right? That you would download our wallet. It has a 12-phrase keys, and of course you would save that, and it basically stores your crypto. That's all. This protocol, which is the name of our chain, or native crypto, right? So you can store, or you can also store any crypto token coin that launches on Oort's chain in that L wallet. And what's really cool is if you want to use your MetaMask, because we're EVM compatible, you can also integrate Oort into your MetaMask wallet.
Nice. All right. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. Good thing you talked about the L wallet. I just want people to know that other than MetaMask, there's the L wallet. But just take a few steps back. We're talking a lot of people can benefit from connecting with Oort. But are there any particular industries or sectors who would definitely benefit the most from implementing decentralized technologies like Oort? Because I'm trying to think. I know there are many industries out there, but are there like maybe 1 or 2 industries you have in mind who could really benefit from using your tech?
Yeah, I think when you look at the medical facility can definitely benefit from utilizing our tech. Because
that's a good one.
Right? Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah.
A lot of medical right now is on paper. So imagine like their warehouses, documents, whatnot. We can actually upload that into our decentralized cloud, protect the data integrity and privacy as well. And that can also help with like training in AI that can also help optimize the medical industry. Then also I'm looking at like social media. We're essentially a DPIN, and DPIN is a decentralized physical infrastructure network. If you look at what we've already been doing in Web 2, Instagram, Facebook, all these social medias, Web 2 DPIN, right? But what's crazy about it, it's centralized. So all that data is being collected on you without your consent, and basically you're the product. But now if we switch that with Web3 and Oort, then we can actually get consent of the use of data, right, from the public, and also an incentive mechanism, which is going to be the Oort token. So people are advised to upload their pictures, share what's going on in their timeline or life, right? I think that would be huge as well. Yeah, the opportunities, and really. We're also looking at helping the rover and Mars, right, with the data that they've received.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. It's like you're getting people that are in the community, and that is expands to now participate in these data, like data sets, data pre-processing. You said that you can help out wherever you can with these quests, as long as the quest is inviting enough for you, right? So we're coming up with different quests for the community members to actually choose from. Deep fakes, come on, a deep fake as well, right?
Yeah.
Big, right? And we can, just basically have the community choose and let us know which ones they want to participate in. Hopefully we have enough engaging quests for the community to choose from. They have their own cohort. They just get incentivized. They're participating in our network. The activity and engagement is what we're looking for is going to be tremendous there, because when have we ever given the people the ability to do that? It's only recent, but I would say never.
Right.
Training the AI.
Yeah, no, that's huge. No, definitely. Yeah. No, I can just say just the impact of what your product can actually do for businesses of all sizes. Yeah, and what you guys have to offer. But definitely I can see, okay, I love what you guys are doing with the Quest stuff. I think definitely see this future outlook is really bright. So that being said, one of my guys has wanted me to ask this question to you, I guess to the team, in terms of the Oort Foundation, right? So as far as what are the key challenges the Oort Foundation faces in terms of implementing and scaling decentralized AI storage and computation solutions that you guys are bringing to the table?
Yeah, so I would say regulations on AI is a bit murky. AI has been around for decades, but now it's only being made like ubiquitous in our lives, right? You have it on your phone, you have it in your car, and now we're talking about decentralizing it. What it's being trained off of, right? Apparently, some of the AIs are being trained on copywritten information.
Oh,
Right?
that's a hot mess right there.
Right. Yeah. I think that is going to be where, our decentralization is going to be helpful as well. It's also the adoption of Web3 with like Web2 companies. I think now they're becoming a little bit more open to crypto and Web3, because this is no longer a fad. Bit is what now, 15 years old? You now got investment from like Wall Street, and now like real use cases are being created, right? One thing I did not like, but I think it's worth mentioning, is 20TX situation, right? That caused like a lot of dominoes, 3 arrows.
Oh yeah.
That was Voyager, BlockFi, like more skepticism and scrutiny came back into the scene, which is healthy, right?
Yeah.
For blue chips, it's now when you're talking to executive, they're just trying to make sure that, lack of better words, they don't lose their job betting on this Web3 startup. So
that's fun. I'm glad he said that. Because just a couple of hours ago, maybe 24 hours ago, the CEO for Hertz, it's a rental company, but he betted heavy on electric vehicles, but that didn't work out well for the company.
Yeah.
So those are huge decisions, multi-million-dollar decisions. And I can get that, where these Web2 executives, these guys are sharks, but they're going to kill if they can kill, but they're not going to make huge bets on Web3 unless super confident. So it's a confidence game, really, right?
It's a confidence game, and it's an educational game, right? So you have to be willing to spend the time in educating and showing why this matters, or why it's needed, why it is a solution. And it becomes a little bit of a long-term play, because it's just patience. You're educating someone that has no clue about why Web3 matters, what the block really means, what does the really, when you're seeing like on TV, once again, legacy centralized media is telling you that because FTX failed, people think Bitcoin failed. And I'm like, no, that is a completely different infrastructure, decentralized benchmark currency. FTX was an exchange, right? And so it's like letting them understand the difference between the two.
Yeah. Hey, but I want to interject here with regards to FTX, right? FTX was actually, okay, in my point of view, they were propped by the mainstream media, by the centralized authority, right? So I want our audience, I want our people to know, hey, remember our history. This is not like some decentralized grassroots efforts that propped up Sam Bankman-Fried. Like that was a whole nother controversy, all right? There's a whole nother conspiracy, right? I'm a conspiracy researcher, right? Hashtag loyal to the foil, right?
I like that. A lot of times those are good starting points, right? Especially for me on the macro trend side. You're right. FTX was being propped up. What I found disappointing though was after the failure of FTX, I ran into people that told me Bitcoin failed, and I'm like, Bitcoin did not. You mean FTX failed? They, Bitcoin was associated with. You just never know what you run into. But once again, it just highlighted that the education and taking our lingo from highbrow to a little bit more lowbrow is going to be necessary for it, because it's obvious now that the adoption is, if not here, it's coming in a large wave post-COVID. Now you got QR codes at your restaurant, right? Which are basically what you use to send and receive crypto. So digital currencies are on their way.
Yeah.
The Bank for International Settlement, they've given mandates about these. This is now a real conversation. We have to start having the discussion now, right? So people can really get caught up on what's coming down the pike. And that just means that Ree's here to.
All right. Yeah. No, I'm glad you shared that. And we covered a lot of interesting topics, a lot of key points in history, philosophy, and the impact for businesses. So that being said, with regards to the Oort Foundation as the chairman, what is the next steps? Is it going to be more education, or you're looking at more products on the pipeline for the future, or maybe a meme coin? Who knows, man?
No, so I'm not trying to extract value. I'm trying to give value back. So I'm trying to
that, brother. Amen to that.
Coins and pre-sales, right? What we're doing now is going to be a focus on education, educational content, letting the developers and founders know about Oort, what makes us unique, learn about our chain. So now my goal, is to expand our ecosystem, go around the world preaching the Oort gospel, right? Sharing with the community about Oort and our AI, decentralized AI. But more so importantly, I'm trying to seek more developers on our network. Our chain just shipped 27 November last year, and we officially did our TGE on the 15th of January of this year. So we went very quick from a private to now public-facing entity. And you'll see me at most conferences, specifically the larger conferences, and that's essentially expand our network and ecosystem. And that's really my main focus at this point. Educational content, securing more developers, deploying grants is a huge fundamental for us from the foundation, an imperative.
Oh, but why does that matter, deploying grants?
So we want to give the endorsement, the firepower to developers and founders to build on our ecosystem, especially value add projects, right? We want to back them, let them know that they're full support. Marketing now. So you'll see a lot more front facing experiences with me, Dr. Lee, and Art, essentially at these conferences, speaking, if not speaking, at your side event or hosting a side event, just letting people know about Oort. What's really cool, we now have a mascot. Her name is Sealy, right? And when Sealy gets excited, she screams Oort. Yeah, having a laugh.
I'm sorry, that tripped me. I didn't expect that. But earlier I didn't agree with the idea of mascots, but actually, like being a couple of events, I had a change of heart. Actually, it does connect with people. It's fun. It's a human thing. Sorry, I was about to say, I think what you're doing aside from the mascot thing is a lot of times I think I try to tell for some like, work on your LinkedIn presence and all that stuff and network smartly. I think just give it a few more seconds and we should be back. All right, is that way?
Okay, I lost you and now you're back.
Oh, I'm back. All right, cool. No worries. So you can edit that stuff. No worries. Like I mentioned earlier about, hey, telling founders like, especially in the MENA region, like LinkedIn is actually pretty important, but also certain events, how you network. But one of the most powerful things is that I think half the battle won, or maybe 80% of the battle is won by just showing up at events, showing up at specific side events. Because, think about you and me. I was making a decision to meet up at this particular house party or like a gathering is so powerful. So I think in many ways, it has been a blessing for both of us. So I empower other people like, hey, you know what? Like you just never know. So but just to connect with the mascot thing, I think it's fun. It's a great conversation starter too.
You know what? I live by a very simple mantra. Basically, if it's not fun, why do it, right? Everything I do or get involved with, it has to be fun. Oort is very challenging, especially this nascent tech and what we're up against. I love it. we're pioneering. And then I'm having a lot of fun. We're coming up with this real cool mascot, Dealy, or meeting people. And one thing I love about the crypto industry is the industry. People are very welcoming, always open to collaborate, and it's a bit of the WAGMI experience. We're all going to make it, right? Because if one succeeds, then we all do. Yeah, that's what I love about crypto. I'm having tons of fun.
That's good. That is really awesome, man. So no, I'm glad that you're having fun with this, and also like you get to actually make an impact. So yeah, so I'm glad. But just to go back to the Oort Foundation, you guys are working on education, connect onboarding developers. But what about business partnerships? Just like what you guys did with Tencent or Lenovo Image, Dell. That's powerful. That's powerful stuff right there. And I think that's happening like on the Western hemisphere, right? Any surprises or any little, how do you call, Easter eggs on the east side?
Surprises I can't share right now. I can let you know that some major partnerships are being formulated behind scenes. We just released one yesterday, B&B Chain. We are partnered with B&B Greenfield. We are one of their storage providers. B&B Chain's decentralized storage chain. So you're going to see a lot more coming out from there. There are some really cool dApp that are being built behind the scenes, and that's going to be really cool. Oh, and we're about to do an accelerator program, which you'll see some announcements being made. Founders, developers that are trying to build something really cool, you can do so on Oort. And yeah, that is going to be announced maybe next week. You should be hearing about this pretty soon. So I just gave you some alpha right there. Just gave your community alpha. Yeah. So
yes. All right.
It's going to be really cool. All the stuff that we're building in the back is going to be a huge boom to what we're doing on the front.
Awesome stuff, man. Awesome stuff. Man, I would love to have this conversation way more further. We're close to time, but I know. But I'll tell you what, but you know what? I'm looking forward to seeing you at Token 2049 and also Eat Dubai. So basically the whole Token 2049 week.
Yes, I'm going to be there hanging out with you. Looking forward to, getting caught up and getting your tour of the scene, man. Dubai's your home. I'm a visitor.
Yes, sir.
Looking forward to it. So we're really excited.
Awesome. All right. Hey, fam, there you have it. You heard it from the man, the myth, the living legend, Michael A. Robinson. He's the chairman of Oort Foundation. And yeah, he's a macro researcher and an early bit true to the heart, true to the spirit of decentralization. I love it. And also, we will see you guys very soon at Token 2049 and also Eat Dubai. Y'all be good. Y'all be safe. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Ciao.